It's 6 a.m. and the first plane of the day takes off from Leeds Bradford. The airport, which opened in 1931, currently sees 3 million passengers pass through its gates each year, but its owner, Bridgepoint Capital, hopes to see this number rise to over 5 million within the next 5 years. These proposals, released last month, reveal ambitious plans which would see the runway extended at both ends and a completely new terminal being built, as illustrated in these artist impressions. This is just an ordinary street in Leeds, and until this happens. Thousands of people across the west of the city wake up to this noise every morning and can't expect to get any peace and quiet until at least 11 o'clock at night. The news of expansion at the airport has caused great concern for those living under the flight path. Sharon Martin is one such resident who kindly invited me into her home and told me her story.
I can remember when the first holiday flight started from Leeds Bradford back in the 60s, but it was always quite low key at that time. And then, of course, since the sell-off, a lot of the budget airlines have started to fly from there, and the noise levels definitely have increased. Obviously, I'm very concerned about the planned expansion of the airport because, as already mentioned, we've noticed an increase in the frequency and the noise levels. We've suffered a couple of nighttime flights of late. They're certainly not supposed to fly at that time, but we've been woken up on a couple of occasions. And I suppose really our main concern is that we don't get to the levels of a major airport, like for example Gatwick or Manchester.
Currently, you can fly to over 62 destinations out of Leeds Bradford. Under the new proposals, you'll be able to fly to over 90.
I think it would be a good thing, but a lot of people will be against it.
I think it would be great if it went to more destinations and you could park within a yard of it.
It is a lot worse now. The noise, since they're running flights later at night and early in the morning in the season, it's not quite so bad in the winter.
But in the current economic climate, is expansion really necessary?
Basically, demand has risen year on year for cheap local flights and continues to do so. Local people want a good local service without having to have an arduous journey over to, for example, Manchester. We do understand the concerns of the local people, and we will listen to them and take on board any comments or worries that they have. We can assure them at this stage that there are no plans to increase nighttime flights, and we will keep noise levels to a minimum, which we shall monitor at all times.
Of course. If you just want to avoid all the trouble, you could just stay at home and holiday in England instead. This is Thomas Harvey, Leeds Today, going camping.